sometime in July, we cross the Hudson River and head west toward the Adirondacks. Great Adirondack Park, set aside in 1892 by the state of New York as a gift to their children's children. The Adirondack Park is bigger than the state of Connecticut. And we move up that Mohawk River and eventually into the western Ads to a lumber camp, now a hunting camp. Now these lumber camps are fascinating affairs. Back in the day, people thought of the Adirondacks as nothing more than a repository of natural resources, with timber and ore being the two big ones. But as time went on, people woke up to the fact that the natural beauty of the Adirondacks was more than just the value of the trees and the mineral wealth. And wealthy people during the mid-19th century began building Adirondack great camps with that peculiar Adirondack style, using twigs and logs in multifaceted ways. We're staying at a camp that was once a lumber camp that's been converted into a hunting camp. There are many Adirondack hunting camps scattered all over the Ads, which are, while as large as the state of Connecticut, interesting because they're public/private. That means that there's private land in Adirondack Park. It's a great exercise in public and private conservation. And when we stay at the lumber camp every year, we dig into some great food that we make over the open fire and on the skillet, and we get ourselves ready for adventure on the nearby rivers and streams and ponds. And that's the topic of today's Fishing Historic Places. We're going to do what these two gentlemen are doing, the Adirondack guys. We're going to head out and we're going to hit some water looking for elusive pike, large and smallmouth bass, and whatever else we can get into. And it's a little bit of a rough experience in the Adirondacks, not just in terms of where we're staying, but the trek that we have to make to get in to the lake that we're planning on fishing, which will remain nameless. I don't want to get left in the woods by my buddies. Pike and smallmouth bass. And of course, don't forget your largemouths. Right? Oh, well, that's a good riffle right there, Hank.
Where was it?
Right over here. And to the left of it. And to the right of it. Oh, no!
Commissioner's getting blown up with friggin'...
The police commissioner.
Fire commissioner.
Fire commissioner? You're a pyromaniac. How can you be a fire commissioner?
I know. This is the world we live in now.
That triggers me just thinking about you being the fire commissioner. When are you going to take over the police commissioner's job?
Oh, first fishing trip.
Oh! Got a little smallmouth. Hank, smallmouth bass. Pete going blue blockers. Oh, yes. Yeah, you caught a nice bass. That was a big fish. Check out that pike, baby. Now I was pumping the chatterbait there. Pete, I got one on the chatterbait too. Another largemouth. Yeah, he's just he's a little guy, but he's, you know, gets me on the board. I've had a bunch of little hits. I just haven't been able to hook them. You want to try a chatterbait? If you do, I got a bunch of them. Hello. Look at you. Hitting on the cowboy and the circle hook. Yes. Yeah.
There's dam on this river?
Yeah, the dam is down a little ways, not far.
Oh, okay. So this
Tell me about that pike you got right here.
Alright, so it was right here, and like, what's that, Uncle John?
Got a motor.
I got it's called a power paddle. It's on a power drill. So basically I have a power drill with a shaft and a propeller. And I can go all the way to the end of the lake with it before it runs out of power. Team Niobe! So,
Did you get that at Amazon?
I did. I made a $30 Amazon purchase. It was worth every penny. So, Pete, you were in here in the morning probably.
I just paddled in from the river to go back to the lake, and I was using a Terminator spinnerbait, half ounce, and I just cast it right where we just were, and
He came out like a son of a gun.
yeah, I caught a 36-inch northern.
And that wasn't easy because you got the water hyacinths, you got all the weed patches. You're lucky he didn't pop you off.
Yeah, exactly. Takes a man of great skill, Stan.
The old flat-tailed water rat, Mr. Beaver, has cooperated and put the level of the lake up for us. We're not unhappy. Mr. Beaver thinking about other people, not being selfish. Of course, he has made it hard to get through here, but we're going to make it happen. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah? Is it a special interest or a special?
I'm just floating.
No, you're all right. The water's higher. This is going to present an interesting opportunity. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to say about it yet. Yeah, that's one of your spots. I like to cast out where you're going right now. I have pretty good luck right in front of you. You see the pads floating way out there? It's about 7 feet deep in front of you.
Yeah, I'm just trying to spread out so we can all
Yeah.
have a place to go.
I want to pattern them. I want to see if they're hitting the spinnerbait. If they're hitting the spinnerbait, all bets are off because they crush this when they're hitting it. Stands of coontail and there's lily pads out there. It can be anywhere.
Right. You know what's good? Take your brand new giant blue popper and just whack it off a rock.
Yeah.
Smash it into
It's a great technique.
This is what I caught. That huge bass. Hey, Sandman.
Got one. Feels like a bass. Nope, it's a pike. Oh yeah, it's a big pike.
Hit good.
Not only is it a big pike, it's a big pike that's got this thing right down his throat.
Oh yeah, he's a big
It's a
one.
big dead pike. We're going to keep it. We got to keep it because it's dead.
You think so?
Yeah, dead. No way. Look at this is a dead pike. This is literally eating the entire whopper plopper. That's a big pike, but he is dead.
for tonight?
Yes, he was. I'm going to actually go in and deal with this on shore. Got somebody here. Imagine it's a small bass. It's not a pike. He's in the weeds. On the lure of the year. Hey, not that small. And like so often, he hit lure of the year with everything he had. Everything he had. Took both hooks. Lure of the year just tricks him. There he is. Back in the water. We got somebody here. We're by the pads. It's a bass. Lure of the year. He couldn't help himself. No, when he's off at the boat, and that's what we like. Wasn't a big one. You got us a little bit of a ride. And so, after vacating the Adirondack for some time, moose are increasingly common in the Adirondacks if you know what kind of sign to look for. In fact, some people might mistake it for horse scat. But yeah, the Adirondacks are really coming back, even though during the Corona a lot of people seem to have rediscovered them. There's still some deep, wild woods. A lot of land here. One of the great gifts the state of New York gave to the nation was the creation of Adirondack State Park. It's a state park. I mean, it's a state park as big as Rhode Island and Connecticut put together, I think. It's massive. But I'm going to head back down to the river, where I think the water's a little cooler and we might get more action from both the bass and the pike. I haven't been doing bad in here, but I just have this feeling about the river. That was crazy. He struck it right when it hit the water. He like literally hit that as it hit the water. Well, the chatterbait. Making friends. Well then, the circle hook pays off again. Right in the corner of the mouth. Beautiful. Now, the cowboy's getting beat up. Like a Cinco. Sometimes you can catch like 10 fish on them. Sometimes you only get one. This one's giving me several fish. I keep underselling it. I'm like barely getting it to the shoreline. It's driving me nuts. I'm not getting it to the shoreline. We're talking about an area of the Adirondacks that was unsettled during the American Revolution. So this became the base of operations for the Tories who were driven out of the Mohawk Valley. And the two butlers, John and Walter, had bands of loyalists, or as we call them in America, Tories, who basically ruled these woods along with their Iroquois allies. And you've probably all heard of Joseph Brant, or Tyendinaga, who had been educated at the Endicott School in Connecticut. He was a very educated Mohawk, possibly Sir William Johnson's son, bastard son. We don't know. But we know Sir William Johnson had a particular affinity for him, and he was sort of caught between two worlds. Joseph Brant, loyal to the king and to the legacy of Sir William Johnson, and his nephew Guy Johnson, and his Sir William Johnson's son, Sir John Johnson. William Johnson died just before the Revolution began, which would have broke his heart. But his Mohawk name, he had been adopted as a full Mohawk. It was Warwiege. And he was the king's Indian agent in all of North America for many years. Well, Joseph Brant, when the war broke out, was torn. You know, he had friends and neighbors that were patriots or high Whigs. And being a Mohawk without the proper lineage, he was not, in effect, a Mohawk chief, but had a war band of various Mohawks all through the war, and Tories that would join him. The Mohawk Valley in the Revolutionary War was the bloodiest portion of the American Revolution. I believe they say, missed them. They say that 40% of the total casualties in the Revolution came from the Mohawk Valley. You probably know the bloodiest battle of the American Revolution took place not far from here at all, or Ascani, August 6th, 1777. Oh, he gets off at the boat. Okay. Tell you that crazy cowboy thing by Gary Yamamoto has been really working. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, look at this guy. Again, notice where the circle hook got him. Right at the top of the jaw. Hello. The octopus hook. To be pedantic, it's an octopus hook. A good cast. I just put it down beyond the... Oh! There he is. What do we got here? Another Moose River largemouth on the circle hook. Another little bass. Fallen victim to the cowboy. Well, he's gotten a little better. Not so small. But look at that circle hook. Look at where it got him. Right in the corner of the mouth. I might even debarb these. You know that? Because they work so well. Messing up the area here. I got a dam I'm not shooting. We're not going over that. It looks intriguing, but we're not doing it. Doesn't look hardly anybody comes here. So it goes from a bass pike stream after the breach dam into a trout stream, it looks like.